Last game of the previous Premier League season.
So this boys tell me if the sound is too loud. This was Arsenal versus Nurnberg. And can we talk about Nurnberg? Because I was so surprised with how well drilled they looked.
Make sure that the passing is crisp, just a little bit sort of bitty at the moment, which is understandable.
But like honestly, we cannot take anything serious from Arsenal in this lineup they have here. Like this guy's gone, Pepe is gone, Nelson is gone, Bellerin is gone.
From number 6 for Nurnberg.
But they look so sharp, Nurnberg. And I asked, yeah, exactly. He was Red Bull schooled, apparently the coach. But I also had a sense of it. Like it's so Red Bull school, this way of playing. Oh my days! Look, because Lukonga's playing as a 6 in this first half, right? Look how much he struggled as a 6.
For the Gunners. Just make sure.
So Arsenal are playing like a very, very traditional 4-3-3 in the first half, where it's just, you know, there's nobody dropping into these pockets. It's basically 4 on the line, and then 3 here, and then 3 wingers, right? So Lukonga has a huge job to do because he's actually the one that has to facilitate, you know, trying to get away from this guy that's man-marking him.
Sure, Kieran Tierney's got to try and do a little bit better to stop the cross.
So, yeah, to the 8.
It was Christoph Daphne.
And then the 9 is dropping this deep.
Indeed it was. Really should have done better, shouldn't he, the bet?
He should be hitting the target, so he got himself inside Waters. Waters just got to get his shoulder out, maybe another 45 degrees. And you.
But you see the training video, boys? You remember the training video where we saw the 8 going up here? Ainsley's doing the thing now. He's going up there. So now the fullback. So either the center midfield has to follow up. So either the midfielder has to follow him there, or the fullback has to follow him, right? And it's the midfielder doing it.
Maybe another 45 degrees, and you're getting a header. Basically, in the end, it was a free header from 8 yards. You got to make sure.
And you see, Nketiah is dropping deep, so there's like a extra. They're +1, right? Because the center backs are not following Eddie Nketiah here.
Nurnberg are kind of rebuilding up front. Daphne brought in from Dynamo Dresden. One of those who is set to lead the line for the season ahead. You'll need to be more clinical than that. Here come Arsenal at the other end. Promising little run from Reece Nelson. Tierney. He can use him for a while.
A little bit, but him one is coming across you and in front of you.
And how are they building up? They're building up in a. Where's the fullback? Is this a fullback? They're building up in a 4, and then the 2 midfielders there, and then maybe the 10 there, right?
On loan at Feyenoord for most of last season was.
What? And they have just completely emptied the wing position. And then they have 2 players here.
Reece Nelson, as we know, was at Hoffenheim before that, has proved himself or not.
We'll play.
Nurnberg actually setting up.
Martinelli, exactly. So he's got a lot of very, very talented players in front of him.
Gets that chance today. Smith Rowe, there's a little bit of pressing there.
Why train these certain patterns? Is it down to profiles or difficulty of positions to defend, mixture of both? Master, it's also just easier for the team, right? If you have some patterns you have worked on, when you're in game, you don't have to think, you just have to do it, right? So you have more time to do something extraordinary. If you have to think about what you're doing every time, you become too slow. Doing patterns to make. Honestly, Smarty's sleeping here. He's even seeing him, right? He knows he's there. That's a good pass. It's actually a good movement, right?
Featuring in this particular match, but as we know, Ben White alongside Gabriel, very much the first choice partnership. Second choice partnership, though.
Yeah. Like Nurnberg is actually playing very well.
Just about managed to keep them out.
Yeah, offside because it was a heavy touch from.
But have you noticed Lukonga? You haven't seen Lukonga yet, right?
Fed into him with Kieran Tierney. He's got to make sure if he's coming.
Yeah, he is.
Holds onto the ball.
Bayern happy to eventually emerge.
Well done there from Lukonga.
Yeah, that combination today.
Oh my days! It's obviously preseason, so those things will happen. That's a nice press from Eddie, and then it starts there.
With a possible move to Arsenal, as we know, and United keen as well.
You see that Lukonga? Did you notice Lukonga there? Yeah, Cosmos, he's a Red Bull school coach. Miles off his reaction time this is poor. Yeah, it is. But look at Lukonga here. I think he noticed, you see his head turns, so he's actually aware that somebody's around him. You see? Oh, and then he clocks now. This is actually just, he didn't read that sequence good enough, in my opinion. You know? And that's what you need from your 6. Because you see, if he read that situation, Arsenal would be this high up the pitch and actually, you know, preceding the push or the play. But now because they didn't get that read on, Nurnberg are free.
The Argentine.
Nicely done there from Nurnberg.
Yeah, but Pablo Maida's completed I don't know, he wasn't that bad in the beginning, right? I think he was better at hiding his weaknesses, but he's mentally off. Like, what is going on there? Like, there's one run that you have to be aware of.
It was Quadro Duha. Here he is, just ghosting in behind Pablo Mori. The Walter necessarily his fault on that occasion, and here is the same player again.
Who's this guy?
This time it's the youngster Walter showing really good physical strength.
This guy, who's this? I've never seen that guy before.
Good pace, good strength, as I say.
That's a nice, nice movement from the Ainsley. And guys, do you see the free? The 8, the winger, and the right back. This is the same movement Liverpool does. United will do this. City is doing this movement. So many teams are doing this movement of these 3 working in like a clock, constantly changing positions. So now you see Ainsley in the Pepe position. He's in the right back position, and he's in the 8 position, right?
Going down, who fans not liking it.
Lukonga again pushing up.
Nothing doing.
Yeah, it was real Waters. His natural pace got him out of trouble. He said he just lost a little bit of concentration. Dua getting the wrong side of him. That reminded me a little bit in the same situation. Russ Sol Campbell sometimes got himself just got wrong side, but he's natural.
Watson, I think,
got him out of trouble. It's exactly what he is. Something like that. More time, just sort of easing off today, and they probably will have a bit of lactic acid that. Your legs, but now they'll be doing 2 sessions a day.
So basically, Ainsley and Misra pushing these 2. Pepe have the responsibility of this guy, and then Berlin has the responsibility of of the left back, right?
Okay.
And you see, like, everybody's pushing this side because they know he'll play it. He has an idea that the goalkeeper will play this. Obviously, if he plays this side, they will just move towards here, right?
They probably will have a bit of lactic acid in their muscles.
Well, that is exactly
and then they
what
start
Arsenal
pushing
have
now.
been doing. A week-long training camp at the Adidas German headquarters. And it has been.
That's a foul there. Is it Mari again? Oh my days, Mari.
The yards covering Mari's just
so
I didn't watch a lot of the first half, so Russell Walters is his name. Okay, I see.
He's more than happy to make the claim.
Interesting.
16 USA caps signed for up to $10 million.
But have you noticed, like, they have not used Lukonga once in the build-up yet?
New England Revolution in MLS.
I think that's a huge issue, honestly.
Maybe the second half of his life.
Because it's so important that the 6 is connected in this type of football.
MLS Team of the Year, wasn't he, in 2021? Goalkeeper of the year.
Oh, my days, Turney.
The MLS Team of the Year, wasn't he, in 2021?
I hate when Turney does stuff like that. It's so bad. Like, it doesn't fit the way Arsenal plays.
From your goalkeeper when the opposition is trying to pressure.
Just, you know, you just completely killed it then. What is Mari doing?
Arsenal win the free kick and play on there.
My days.
Not involved on this tour because of international duty who should feature in the States in the coming week or so, including the likes of Ramsdale, Erdegaard, Saka, Xhaka, Tomiyasu.
You see, now he should get it, right? Like, there.
Seated back.
I'm not sure if Arsenal is not respect, like the players are not giving him that respect either, right?
Okay, weren't they?
Because, you know, like the players could easily have found him sometimes, like here maybe. There's a pass there, right?
Yep.
You see how much he hesitates with it? Maybe he's afraid of this guy pushing up on him. But if he gets it correctly, he can just move this side and then he's out of the game.
So on that,
now it's over, right? So Emil doesn't really trust him there, in my opinion.
City and Chelsea.
Well done, Mari.
Here for the Emirates Cup against Seville.
As I say, on Arsenal.com and the app, you can.
Now Lukonga should get it.
Pre-season action. Let's have everybody's company today. Catching brilliant.
And Bellerin is already shoving into this position. Imagine if he got it.
Preseason action.
Yeah, he couldn't. I think this was the only way he could get it. Yeah.
Of everybody's company today. For the first time.
Yeah, exactly, SB. Lukonga is very timid also, yeah. He is, honestly, Lukonga is a very, very good footballer. But that position is just, you know, this is why you cannot put young players as a 6. You need to be mature. It's a big responsibility to play that position. Especially in a team like Arsenal where you actually need to... There's some nice combinations on the right side. That's so nice, Mione. That's a nice hat trick there.
Nice idea.
Yeah, there's a best Pep and Napoli make sure there's one who goes to engage him and one just inside. So therefore, I think like see Pepe go on the outside and you negate that person who's covering on the inside and you just change the angle completely.
Marie.
Yeah, it is.
Forward probing ball. Smith Rowe offloading. Tim Handworker.
But like Arsenal are playing so slow in this half, right? Like there's no speed in the game. This is what I'm saying. Like you need some players in the team that actually can, you know, dictate, give that tempo to the team. Nobody in that midfield for Arsenal gives tempo. Ainsley can give some physicality and some runs, but you know, and Emil Smith Rowe can do the same. But giving that, you know, with the ball, being clever with the ball, you don't have any of these three doing that.
Their boss Klaus moving forward.
So everything is just slow, right? Be one of those. Again, we see that the 8 going on the wing.
Here's Tierney.
What a nice movement. So he went out. So the 8 went out the wing, and then the winger went into the 8 position. And Nketiah dropped deep. So the 5. You remember when the 5 was on Ainsley here? So he was man marking the 8. That didn't happen because Nketiah ran deep. So they're just changing positions, and that's causing confusion, right? This is such a nice thing to do. Like small things like that, but it's so well drilled. The position change they had there. You know, like it's about changing positions between the players so the opposition get confused.
Was it Roma?
That's a good ball done by Pepe there.
From Pepe.
I always feel like when I see Pepe in this situation, it doesn't fit him. It's too awkward for him to be this close to the touch line, right? To this line.
Roma.
It's like it's not his football. He needs to run into space more, right? He can do it. Like this is a good movement, but in general. I feel like you want your wingers to be a bit smaller so they can, you know, do the tricky part here. I don't know, it's just like yeah.
From Pepe.
Like Saka, I think it's better for Saka to be in those positions where you don't have so much space to run into, but you have to be tricky. It's a different winger profile.
Just trying to take that control now. We've been a lot in possession this last.
And I think like in Premier League there's loads of space to run into. But it's just I don't think that fits. It doesn't fit the way Arsenal plays with Arteta. I think that's the issue.
Down the byline, goes for these in ahead, but
let me see here what happened there. I have to be cautious with this one.
Just make sure it's all 1 and 2 touch passing
the byline. He thought about a little ball down.
Where's the midfielder? That's the 5. The 5 is there. He's completely not.
Yeah.
That's a good shot from Emil Smith Rowe, right?
Solid club man. By
let's see here again with Lukonga.
Easily dispossessed on that occasion by.
Yeah, for sure, SB. See you later, mate.
Of course, it got into England's squad. He was called up at the same time as Bukayo Saka, wasn't he? And as Saka exploded into life and grew.
That's a good pass from Mario, that one. This pass is so sharp. You see? Because if he was, I think he would do 2 if he's right-footed. But if he's right-footed, he would go like this, right? But he's left-footed, so it just fits perfectly into his path. And it opens up so much.
Exploded into life and grew.
It's a nice pass from Marty.
That's saying progress to the point, yeah, that he ended up.
And Ainsley again into that.
The second half of last season.
Oh, This is my issue with Ainsley. Did you see how sloppy that pass was?
Yep.
It was so. You cannot do that as a midfielder or in top football in general. You have every pass have to be sharp. Doing stuff like this. Look how lazy it is.
Season.
It just.
You've seen him playing as right back, haven't we?
But against preseason.
First playing in that centre midfield, a little bit more in front of looking.
Exactly, like I get why he wants it. It creates so many possibilities in the back line to have a left-footed centre back.
Grow a bit, hasn't he? While he's been away. Start contrast.
More precise, got to be a bit quicker.
It's a lot of the right side it happens, right?
Out of possession, just evolving that between effectively a 4-3-3 or a 4-5-1 is quite a good way to go. We see quite a few clubs do it. Here is Nelson. As far as Lukonga.
But this is an excellent pass from Lukonga, right?
Here is Nelson.
Because everything is happening here now, right? Like, look how all the players are. He sees it quickly, and then he uses his left foot. Like, honestly, loads of midfielders don't want to use their weak foot. And Lukonga is just using his left foot like that. It's very well done. So he's a good passer.
Player into Pepe. Patient build-up.
Oh, that's nice from Pepe.
Frustratingly, wouldn't quite fall for an Arsenal jersey, and it was Mola Dali.
That was a nice sequence from Arsenal.
Out his defenders, who ended up hacking the ball to safety.
He's just unlucky from Pepe.
Yeah, but I think you know what? You know why, Kibo? I think it's because of the right back. How the right back is set. Because third is a bit more inverted, right? You see where Berlin is. But maybe it's because they play here that they have to do that. But turn is a bit more inverted. Berlin is a bit higher. So that's why they have these combinations here, and that's why you see more right side bias.
Yeah, it was Real Betis, wasn't it, that Bayern was at last season. Back now. Again, we'll see.
And you see, Emil is also just a runner. Like, Emil is not somebody that will unlock your defense with intelligent passing. Not at this age. He's more a guy that wants the ball and then run with it, which is good. But you have the same on the other side with Ainsley, right? So it creates like this team where there's not really a lot of movement with the passing.
Couple of seasons, didn't it? And then scouting that. We'll wait and see.
I want to see the goals. When are they scoring? The Nurnberg goal.
Yeah, when he never quite as yet kind of grown and taken.
But Lukonga is getting so ignored. Like, I think this, if Party is not available for this season, I think it's going to be. I don't think they will play like this. I don't think they will play with a lone six. They will play with the two midfielders close to each other, like they did with Xhaka and El Neni. But this will never work with Lukonga.
To the side, giving us more balance on.
Basically, this is how they do, because there are two strikers there, so they build up in a free, right? So they cannot press them one-to-one.
That left-hand side, playing in the two. I like the fact that he liked to play quite high up and try and intercept the ball and win the ball back early. But then he just seemed like he just lost his way a little halfway. I struggled for it at pace, and then the opposition then realised that and then just kept feeding it in that left-hand channel.
Absolutely.
He's taking. I think this happens too much with this guy, like, where he's just getting isolated like this. And I'm not sure if Arsenal have some ways to get out of this, like where they know that, okay, if the 6-man marks our 6, or if our 6 gets man marked, we're going to play like this and this and this.
Certainly can distribute a decent ball. Seen a auxiliary.
But I think Lukonga has.
In finish.
Was this a goal? It's a nice goal, honestly. It double hits the post, right? So that's clean. But I'm not sure about the goalkeeping. Honestly, I'm not sure about that goalkeeping. What happened? What happened with Turner there? I don't get it.
With his left foot, I say we can't really tell from this angle, Russ, whether Turner's maybe a little bit unsighted, but it just seemed like
I don't know where he's going wrong here.
Curl away from him.
What is the hand doing there? And it's not even a bit close, and it's, I don't know, maybe it's maybe the knuckleball is too, I don't know. I don't get this one.
Getting stuck in with drinks.
What is he saying here to them?
His goal is for a scheduled drinks break, given the heat.
I want you to play with capacity, with the right intention.
The drinks break will come at a good time for Arsenal to try and respond here, and Mikel Arteta, unsurprisingly, getting stuck in with some tactics.
I think what
I don't know what he's saying.
He's trying to say is, one, we're not passing the ball quick enough.
What do you guys think he's saying here?
Not quick enough on the ball, and we're just taking too many touches. So I think he wants his very intense. I mentioned earlier there, when the ball comes.
This guy's just like, yeah.
From Turner.
Press Tiggers all the way.
If you're match sharp,
just press him.
The ball takes a touch out of his left foot.
You are Wolves.
He fires it in. Another touch.
Yeah.
He ends up giving the ball away. Nurnberg can come and close.
But he wasn't there. It's odd. Yeah, keeper. Maybe. Honestly, I'll go to the second half in a moment. I just want to see that goal again. Like, that goal was so good.
Really touched the ball meaningfully.
Again, Marty.
In this game.
And Lukonga here is just sus. Like, there's such a bad movement from Lukonga there. But this finish is so good. It's such a bang finish. You know, it's just an evil. This is like, you know when you want this type of goal? You want this type of goal in the 90th minute, being the underdog, and then scoring away from home, and then you just hear the crowd being completely silent. That's the type of environment you want for this goal. It's so cold.
Lucky ricochet off.
It's so cold. Boom, and the sound of the net. Yeah. Okay. The second half was a bit of a stinky. Let's see the first half. No, the first half, I mean. Let's see the second half. Can Arsenal make a comeback in the second half? I am not sure.
Zero is good.
What is this?
Invest in stocks with zero commission.
So as expected, plenty of half-time.
What was that?
That is the man wearing 9 to the right of your screen.
Yeah, exactly, Noni.
Gabriel Jesus is on wearing an Arsenal shirt. Talk about that in just a second.
But obviously, you also see like they completely went away from the 4-3-3, right? They're not playing a 4-3-3 anymore.
But even then, Marte back.
So two.
Because they're playing 2 strikers, and then you have Reese as a wingback, and then Ainsley in the 8 role, right?
New established faces in Mohamed El.
But you know what I find crazy? Like how quickly they just knew where to position in a completely different formation. Because they press differently now, right? Like they press in a 2-2. Okay, they're basically man marking actually. They're just man marking them. No, not really, because the winger, the fullback is there. Remo, I'm watching on the Arsenal website. Arsenal always put their games up on the website, like also for Premier League. It's quite nice.
Get a shot in anger, but surely a matter of time. Absolutely great to see Gabriel Jesus on the man. From
so you see here 3, and then you have 3 there, and then you have obviously these 2, and this guy is playing as this 8, and this is the right-sided 8, and then the 2 strikers there.
Manchester City, £45 million, 5-year deal.
But when you're really offensive, it honestly just becomes like a. This formation can be so offensive, attacking.
Involved. Just wanna.
Yeah. For his first Arsenal
it's so uncalled for. Like how did he score there? How is he scoring from here? What is going on? Is it because is this Reese? Reese is taking this position. It's a good pass for Jesus, honestly. I just feel like it's a weird goal from a Nurnberg perspective. It's just so sudden, like something's completely off in the defense there. This is the left back. And this must be the right back. I think this is how the defensive formation is. Right? These 4 players here. Maybe this guy's, I don't know, maybe he's a bit sleeping there. I'm not sure why he's chilling so deep.
Brilliant from Jesus. Nuremberg 2.
Oh my god, he's clueless, isn't he?
Arsenal 1.
I don't know. I feel like maybe that guy's sleeping a bit.
He may be getting a smashed it past Gabriel Jesus. 2 minutes into your non-competitive debut, but it's still your debut. If you're still first, game in an Arsenal shirt.
Luke Martinez just having the whole wing for himself, offensively and defensively. And you see now we have Lukonga as an 8, and Ainsley as an 8 again, and Elneny there. And then you have Reese as a right wing back.
Wow. Absolutely brilliant. We were so excited that
that's well done from Lukonga.
He has at
it's just a bit more confident in that position, right? Like playing a bit higher. Which is not what I think what he's bought for. I think he's bought for playing in that 6th position instead of Party when Party's injured. Or, to relieve him.
The passing field didn't quite find its target. It found Nketiah, and it was his ball that refound Jesus.
But again, guys, you see again the movement of these three. So he's a wingback, right? And he's an 8 running deep.
And up front, there's a 2.
Now these two are changing position. So he's now becoming the winger, and then Reese is becoming the 8. It's just nice changes. It's like they're continuing the attack. You see, like it's just the first attack here didn't work. Like that could have been a pass there, right? No problem. Then they're just continuing. It's just one long continuation. Continue finding solutions. It's so nice. It's so good.
Just over the head of Lukonga there. Arsenal come forward once more. Ainsley Maitland-Niles.
It's completely different tempo, completely different pace for us in the beginning of this second half.
Yeah, it's obviously a 3-2-5, right? Like 3 here.
And we was mentioning
and then maybe, but
the first half for us, I bet it's they look.
Yeah, let's see if it's a 3-2-5. Let's see.
But there's no way in the world that Mikel Arteta would take that into consideration if your team's 2-0 down against.
But it's so dynamic, right? Like it's hard to just take it from this picture here.
Of German football.
Again, Ainsley on the right wing back position.
Once more. We'll see if there's a positional change.
Reese in the 8 position, up to the 9.
In this second half. There is one more Arsenal sub, which is Gabriel. He's on at the
I'm not even joking. I still haven't seen how Nurnberg is playing. Like how the formation is set up. Oh my days.
How they were
down this left, they didn't really get his connection.
Let me see how the build up here.
Sweet to maybe let the ball drop a little bit lower.
So it's basically the same, right? But the build up is different, right? Because here you will see the 8, here you will see Niles in the 4-3-3, right? But here we're seeing the wing back. He's still occupying the 8 position. But now it's just the 9 coming into this place. So that's where Reese originally would be. Niles would be there, Reese would be there, right? But they're very tactically flexible Arsenal in this game. I feel like it's a preseason game. It's the first game of the season, right? And they're playing with this much flexibility. I think that's good. It's obviously a preseason game, but I think it's nice that they still are. They can still play. They're not clueless. Turney's not playing. Danny Turney's not playing. It's Martinelli.
Preferred central striking position. Didn't really get as much game time at all as he would have liked last season. One of the reasons why.
And look, Lukonga's now, and these are 3 also occupying each other's space. So Lukonga's now playing left wing back. He's playing as an 8. They are very comfortable in these formations because they know this is what Pep is saying about. It's not about formations. It's not about numbers. It's about knowing the principles of the system. And you can see like lots of these players have played a lot now. So they know he's just taking this position here. And know that guy is there. So left wing back 8.
For so many reasons, and early on, 5 minutes in, it's looking good.
And then Reese, I hate those long shots. Like just circulate a bit more. Don't have to be a long shot when you see the opportunity.
Defensive line.
This moment actually annoyed me a lot.
Gabriel.
Whose fault is this one? Whose fault is this? Who should take this ball? Because honestly, this causes confusion. Because look, now he's going back, and he's going back.
Still in goal.
And that's not good.
See there.
Decent passing.
I think probably 3 at the back with Maitland-Niles now playing as a wing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure what is going on there. That is the worst thing to see from a centre back and goalkeeper.
Reece Nelson out on this right-hand side.
Creativity from the midfield is lacking. Yeah, creativity from the midfield is lacking, but there are two strikers, right? So you compensate by just having another striker. So if you can get it up to them, I think you'll do something. But they're just playing quicker now too. But look at Jesus, like he's constantly trying to find solutions. You see that the 9 to the 9, and then the 9 can either play Martinelli deep. He could set it off. If he set it off to Lukonga there and Martinelli ran, I think it would have been a better movement, right? But because Martinelli's running this way instead of just running that way, right? But he's also a bit too behind. He'll probably get it into feet. Lukonga is looking much more confident in that role.
Lukonga to Reece Nelson in space, hugging this near touchline. Watched on.
No, Turner doesn't look good on the ball. Like he just looks like a goalkeeper on the ball. I don't get why they bought him, Arsenal. From what I've seen from this game, it doesn't make much sense to me. Also, they're selling Leno. Like Leno's still an okay backup goalkeeper. He's not the best with his feet, but he's not worse than this guy. I don't believe that.
Cut out by the game's first goal scorer, Johan Geiss.
Again, Lukonga occupying that left wing position now. Martinelli playing a bit centrally.
Now to Nketiah. Decent block.
Oh my days.
Absolute howitzer into the corner.
The sound.
What a difference.
The sound of the goal.
What a strike. His laces tip from fully 30-35 yards. He absolutely
oh my days, what a banger.
What a strike from after us. You can tell that two fantastic goals from Onelli and Jesus.
Crikey, really coming to life.
Yeah, maybe something between the Alan.
Nurnberg.
Bamboozled us slightly,
little bit,
yeah, but it's working.
Well, I think it's more of like a 3-5-2.
Exactly.
No joke. Is it a 3-5-2?
Well, right wing back.
But then sometimes Maitland-Niles is popping up there as well.
So they're interchanging. Obviously, on the left-hand side, you've got Martinelli.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kiwo.
Like
what a shame.
Be rigid is going to be Mohamed El-Neni, who's going to be that holding midfield player in front of the free.
Yeah, because sometimes Lukonga is popping up on the left, in and around Martinelli, as you say.
And up at half, more personnel. He thought about that in the second half. We knew he was going to bring on more personnel, but I think he looked at Nuremberg with their 4-5-1, where they were very, very structured and set. That he wanted more width. He wanted players out wide in 1v1 situations.
And also with the interchangeability, it just leaves the opposition thinking and wondering as well, and it is working.
Damn, so much movement now.
Maitland-Niles thought about the shot again.
Do you guys remember this situation? Do you remember this situation from the training video we saw? Where they played out to the wing, and now he can play it back, and he can have a shot, or he can overlap here, right? So this is what we're seeing. So Martinelli is going for the overlap. He could actually just have stayed here, I think. But maybe that would have moved much. But that's what we saw in the training video, right? He was staying there and then he tried to make a shot. But what they're doing is taking the overlap.
Here is Lukonga.
But does he get baited there, the fullback, by Martinelli's run?
Here is Lukonga.
No, he doesn't. He just...
Good save. My goodness.
It's nice to see how the training sessions are being...
More movement. There was a lack of movement in
the same situations are being seen in the game.
Enthusiasm. Say him
as well.
There's just been more dynamism.
But this movement from Nketiah is crazy good. What is the speed? Like, he's so rapid.
Talking of dynamism, with a super run from Eddie Nketiah, gets the ball back from Jesus. I think that's crossed the line from Gabriel Jesus for another goal.
It's very good play from Arsenal there.
And the goal is
it's not nice, like it's not beautiful in that sense because he plays it back, but it's pacey, right? Like they played such a high tempo here.
And he and the rest of the halftime subs have blown.
Honestly, but that's crazy run from Nketiah, that one. A nice link up from Jesus.
But again, it's Nketiah coming, little layoff.
Is it only me that thinks Jesus looks so light in this game? Like he looks very light-feeted.
Just ahead.
Like quick, and he also looked quick as City. I'm not sure it's because these Germans look heavy defensively, but Jesus looks so light.
32-year-old man with the most Premier League experience of the opposition.
I don't think he would look this light in the Premier League.
But it was the pressure that he was put under, because in the
first exactly. Like they look honestly for second, third preseason game.
Now with Jesus,
Nketiah looks sharp, and Jesus also looks very sharp in my opinion.
Sure that as all good centre forwards do, then once you spin, you make sure that you have to get across the near post.
He's brought down, I think, quite right.
Someone who's probably changes. Normally want to book someone in. And Michael Backer, the referee, you don't normally want to book someone in pre-season friendlies, but absolutely.
Like this striker looks interesting, honestly. This guy. He has good pace on him too. What is it called? Dia?
Chance there of Duha getting to that one.
Duha? Yeah. They just cleared it there. That's well done from Nketiah, honestly. He should never win that ball. Did he get into it?
I was disappointed.
Changes. Quite a few of his teammates. And it is Manuel Winsheimer coming on. We have Hamburg.
Is Nketiah going to play for Ghana now?
Keep an eye on him where he...
Yeah, Nketiah is so strong. Like, honestly, that guy's he's actually a physical bully.
He's Nurnberg.
You see again that one from Jesus, wins the ball there, turns and then plays it deep. This is what I want to see him much more for Arsenal do with Saka in behind, or who the else on the right winger they're looking for is going to be.
Absolutely. Still trying to put the age in they fairly can't.
Yeah, Ghana's going to look stacked though.
Just dispossessing Johannes Geis in that centre midfield area.
As he came on, Arsenal's defenders not with a huge amount to do, but good to have Gabriel. He had a very good campaign last year. On for the second half of this one.
Yeah, Kibo, obviously, what is going on? They also got Lamptey, right?
Ben White is in this squad. I'm sure we'll start to feature once we head to the States. In this
is also what Arsenal needs. A guy that can do this.
I'm sure we'll start to feature.
I don't think Lacazette was very bad at this, but Lacazette was very bad at it away from home. Like, he could never do stuff like this away from home, only at Emirates. And you need it both ways, right?
Yep.
Let's see if Jesus can do it.
In the next few days as pre-season continues.
I get it, Nketiah here. Like, this guy's completely exploded, but let's see, like, but this movement is also crazy again with his left foot. Like, that's a rocket. Like he's firing. It's boom.
Thumping the woodwork and allowed to dribble in by
yeah, Pistachio is so good. Like, what is up with that?
Unbelievable turnaround. 4-2.
Honestly, it's so out of pocket that he's so good with his left foot suddenly.
Out to make the nails.
I've never seen him strike with his left foot, I think. Until that training session and then this.
Absolutely no chance whatsoever.
Yes, Alf. Alf, honestly, I would like to watch it on the stream, as like we could watch it together, something like that. But I haven't figured out yet how to do it. But Fif sent me a link, so I'll have to.
And he thought, right, I'll make sure great strike.
Like, the game is already done here, right? Like, Arsenal had like 20-minute push, and then that's it.
Not so good.
It's good to see that from a team this early in the preseason.
I'm trying to say it all game. Nurnberg 2-0.
I want to watch the Marquinhos guy. There we go. Let's watch the young guys now.
He will be disappointed.
But this guy's getting a lot of hype from Arsenal fans. Like this Charlie Patino guy. Is he all that? Like, but he honestly, I remember seeing him last year in like some cup games, but he looks much bigger this year. Like, look, you can like he's got a bit more bulky face. His arms are a bit bigger.
if you're getting beat sort of in the middle of your goals, although
You know, he's really filled out his body.
Left foot shot just that little bit.
We can safely say that this game.
I'm more excited about this guy. Like I've seen some clips from this guy. Like I think he looks quite nice.
Providing there is no simply Elneny, Martinelli.
Our best is he the best prospect for Arsenal?
Grabbing by the scruff of the neck the first half of the second period.
Well,
didn't know that.
Jesus straight away from the kickoff. You know, with the first 30 seconds on the front foot.
Yeah, the jersey number. Yeah, that's. I'll leave that to Patino.
Nice touch from Salah.
But I'm excited to see what this guy can do because he looks sharper than I expected.
Nurnberg Arsenal app. We've got some corking pre-season games to bring you in the coming days. Off to the States for the next 3. Everton at the City match, and then July the 20th.
Build up, blah blah blah.
Back for that one, and then Chelsea 3 days later. Then back here.
Look at Balogun here.
Okay, for the Emirates Cup.
Balogun has such a nice speed too.
Stayed here in town for that. On who I think this is Burrow. Yeah.
But I don't think Balogun will get that much game time this season. Right? Like there's obviously no.
In the second half,
he did. He got the goal in the second half, didn't he? After
people, well, I don't know that guy Omari. Is he? I don't know who that guy is. Like Balogun, a lot, but defense definitely needs another loan. Yeah, yeah. I think Balogun will get loaned again, right? Like I don't see the space to him.
Game time early on for the first team last season, before getting that further experience elsewhere. Still signing.
Is a winger.
Another area from where
but Arsenal are producing some good young players, right? Like there's so many.
Already
in the first team, and now they also have some upcoming. It's weird because Arsenal for like 10 years didn't produce like one good young player. After Wilshere, who did they produce? Bellerin was maybe the next one, and that's it. Right? So there's been like 10 years where Arsenal haven't really produced anything special. And now they have like so many players in the starting lineup that have been a part of the youth.
And what that means for Smith Rowe as well.
Just let's look at Julian Alvarez a bit later.
We've seen Jesus coming on it, very little everybody else up. Too many good players.
But look at this, boys. Look how Nurnberg gets out of this press. I actually was so impressed by this.
See how players.
He was in this squad, but 3 on show.
So look here, okay? Marquinhos on the winger. I think he's on the 5, and these two are on the centre backs.
Some of the potential signings that seem to be regularly doing the
What's up, Joe?
Watch that very closely, but 4 players.
He baits them
already.
Now he goes. It's actually a nice bait. I think that's maybe why the press didn't work for Arsenal here.
3 on show.
Jesus on the left back.
Various points of today.
I think Jesus a bit too late there because that's the pass he doesn't want to happen. But then he gets into position, right?
Surely feature when it comes to the USA. He looks in this squad, but will surely feature.
Balogun maybe is not quick enough to cut this passing lane off, but yeah, it's hard because he can also play there, right? But obviously this is Patino's work.
Comes to the USA.
So he's a bit in two thoughts.
Yeah.
Patino goes up on the 5. It leaves actually a space he can run into.
He can play as a 10.
But Patino closes off quickly.
Play again left.
No, is this Salah?
He can play right. It'd be interesting to see how. And Vieira in the same system where Odegaard maybe plays it a bit deeper and Vieira plays it
again on the fullback. But they're playing so well here, Nurnberg, in my opinion. So well done. And now they're out. That movement is so clutch.
We've seen Jesus coming on, it lifts everybody.
But he's stressed, right? Like he's looking up behind him 100 of times to see if Patino's there. And that created the goal. Like that solution, that passing solution created this goal.
Really good work to keep that ball in play.
Yeah, Dal, it's obviously not the... But it's good work from Nurnberg because Arsenal actually looked sharp in the pressing. I think Arsenal looked good in this press situation. I don't think they were bad. Like it was not. It's just well done from Nurnberg. One individual player takes a run and then that's it. Like they closed off pretty well Arsenal for most of the passing.
Well, you can say that the.
Like here, right? And he looks so neat in those movements, this guy. And you see, like, his natural trait is to play immediately, go into this position to play the 1-2. This is like how he wants to play. That's his natural way of being a footballer. So he's also have a bit of, you know, the whole combination type of football. He didn't get it there, but it looks so neat in this sequence. Like, it's just the way he passes it. You know, you see he's not unbalanced, but he's already on the move. Let's see, like, this guy excites me a bit, actually. I didn't expect anything from him when I saw there were some Arsenal fans that wanted me to see him, but he looked a bit thick in my opinion, but let's see. I think that's a nice movement from him. He looks light, you know. He has a good balance of being light, but also being. I think people will bounce. He will bounce off defenders because he's not skinny.
Well, under possession. Absolutely, and did nicely there as well. Did Patino?
I don't know what this. Is this the left back?
Under possession. Absolutely.
The left back is following it, but it's a nice pass from Martinelli.
Did nicely there as well. Did Patino? Flicked in by Jesus. What an
but Jesus is
goal that oozes class. That is his second.
Jesus is good in these. Was good in this game.
Could easily have been a hat trick since he came on. Gabriel Jesus is something else. Scores again. Arsenal reconfirm their 2-goal lead, and they lead
exactly.
5-3.
I think you can say that he's endeared himself to, you know, just getting involved.
I actually. It'll be exciting because Arsenal are looking for a new right winger, right? But if this guy has a good preseason, but maybe he's too young. Yeah, like I said, was killing Arsenal more than I think most Arsenal fans think. Like, that guy was so bad for Arsenal. Arsenal were playing like with 10 away from home. He was so bad in those games. Nketiah saved a lot, but when Nketiah came to the team was already drained, in my opinion. Like, I feel like Arsenal was already pushed to the limit. You could see it. Like, they were honestly fighting for every game. The players, too many young players playing too many games.
Energy coming on.
Honestly, I don't have high expectations for Jesus at Arsenal. I think we have seen what he can do at City, but it's interesting if he can take it to the next level. I also made a video about Jesus. It'll honestly be interesting to see because he looks sharp in this game, but it's obviously a pre-season game, boys. You also have to take that into account. Playing in the Premier League in December, January, February, that's where you see what a player he is, right? The first month is all honeymoon phase, everything is good, blah, blah, blah. It's when it gets a bit difficult. That's where I want to see it. When things become every day. No? So I expect him to have a good start, but then after some months it'll be exciting to see what he can do. But I think Salah was a bit overwhelmed in this game, right? Like, it was a bit too much for him physically. Like, look how he just gets bullied.
Again, fighting to win it back. Very nice too so far.
Nurnberg is a good team, honestly. I was very surprised.
Being told to a bit of pick.
Yeah, this guy was struggling. Okay, guys. I think this is basically. I want to see one Marquinhos action more, and then that's it.
Hello.
Can we get one more Marquinhos action? Never mind then. But a good game from Arsenal. Overall, boys. See here.